Here to dive into industry trends with leading ETF experts, this is ETF Spotlight with Neena Mishra.
Hello and welcome to ETF Spotlight. I'm your host, Neena Mishra. My guests today are Dan Ives, Managing Director and Global Head of Technology Research at Wedbush Securities, and Cullen Rogers, CIO of Wedbush Fund Advisors. We're talking about the AI revolution and a brand new ETF which is designed to invest in it. It is the Dan Ives Wedbush AI Revolution ETF with the ticker symbol IVES. So Dan has been a leading tech analyst for over 2 decades, and in my view, he's the best out there. And he's also Wall Street's biggest AI bull, and he frequently appears on major television networks like CNBC and Bloomberg to share his bullish views on the theme. And he has been right, so it's no surprise there's a lot of interest in this ETF, which he'll be managing. So welcome to both of you. I'm thrilled to have you with us today.
Great to be here. Thank you for the intro.
So let's start with the big picture. Why do you think AI is the most compelling investment theme today?
I believe it's a fourth industrial revolution. In my opinion, it's the biggest tech trend we've seen in the last 40 to 50 years. And we've spent our career trying to find disruptive technology themes. AI is the biggest one. And the goal with this is really to all of our research when it comes to AI and the AI IVES 30 and to put the ETF around it. It's an exciting time for tech investors in the AI revolution.
Right. So the ETF invests in a portfolio of 30 tech companies, which are at the heart of AI revolution. And Microsoft is currently the top holding, followed by Nvidia, Broadcom, and Tesla. So let's talk a little bit about Microsoft. Tell us about your thoughts on Microsoft's AI story. What sets it apart?
Yeah, I believe on the enterprise, they're going to continue to own what I view as sort of the AI revolution. More and more enterprises, as workloads move to the cloud, Microsoft's really going to be the winner. And it speaks to our bullish view of Microsoft. I think this is just starting in terms of the next stage in the Microsoft growth story.
And of course, no conversation about AI would be complete without Nvidia, which is the poster child of AI revolution. So the stock has rebounded strongly from its DeepSeek and all the tariff-driven sell-off. What makes you very excited about Nvidia now?
I mean, it's the chip fueling the AI revolution. I think Nvidia could be a $4 and ultimately $5 trillion market cap. Even though you're going to have tariff headwinds, to me, this continues to be front and center, is really leading. And Nvidia is one of our top picks in terms of AI revolution theme. And I think it's really the foundation of where we see everything heading.
So let's talk about Tesla a little bit because Tesla shares are plunging today as we are talking. And for reference, we are recording this on Thursday, June 5th. And shares are plunging because of this public spat between Musk and President Trump. And you had previously criticized Musk for being distracted and focusing on Doge. And in your view, that led to brand damage and slowing sales at Tesla. Now we are also seeing this growing rift between Musk and Trump, and then this potential elimination of EV tax credits. So what's next for Tesla in your view?
Look, I mean, I think it's a very strong time for Tesla in terms of the autonomous vision. Robotaxi, cybercabs that will be coming out soon. Obviously the Trump-Musk situation continues to be, ultimately, I think a very volatile situation. But our view is it's overdone. I think this is going to be, bark's going to be worse than the bite as it all plays out. And our bullish view on Tesla is unchanged in terms of the autonomous future.
So Tesla is planning to launch a Robotaxi service, and they said that they are going to start with the 10 vehicles. Do you think they'll be expanding their Robotaxi anytime soon? We know about Musk's timelines. He overpromises at times, and we see that Waymo is now far ahead in the Robotaxi race.
I believe timing could obviously be off, but I continue to think they're ultimately going to be the winners in the AI revolution from an autonomous perspective. I think Robotaxi is just the start of what over the coming year. And I think this continues to sort of be, I think, a golden age for Tesla, despite, obviously some of the volatility that we're seeing.
So let's talk a little bit about Apple, because many investors believe that Apple has fallen behind in the AI race. And Apple is one of the holdings in your ETF, but it is not the top holding. What are your thoughts on Apple and its AI now?
I believe the AI revolution will go through Apple. And I think they've been late in terms of AI, but it's our view 70% of the world is going to access AI through an Apple device, which speaks to our view of Apple from a consumer play as part of this AI revolution. That's why we include them in our theme. We're very bullish, despite obviously a lot of sentiment that's super negative today. But, they need to prove themselves over the coming year. That's going to be the key.
Right, very interesting. So your ETF holds companies across the entire AI value chain, that is from infrastructure to implementation. And when we talk about investing in AI, are there any specific subsectors or layers of this AI ecosystem that you find very, very compelling right now?
I mean, we could, Colin could step in here, but I would say, look, cybersecurity, I think is going to be a huge second, third derivative beneficiary. We have 30 names. That's across the whole ecosystem. And I think cybersecurity, autonomous, the consumer piece, that's the goal here. It's about the second, third, fourth derivatives playing out.
Right. So when you're selecting stocks for this ETF, do you take valuations into account, or are you mostly focused on the narrative?
I mean, to me, it's really more about the disruptive themes. Of course, we look at, what, valuations could be, but I think if you focus on valuations, you've missed every transformational growth story in tech the last, 20 years. So we view it in the disruptive theme, AI, and who the ultimate winners are.
Yeah, it seems investors also don't care much about valuations these days. So talking a little bit more about this ETF, how frequently is the ETF going to be rebalanced?
The ETF will rebalance quarterly.
Great. So let's talk about AGI a little bit, switching gears from AI. Do you think we are on the cusp of AGI? Because these biggest tech companies, they are pouring billions into this race towards artificial general intelligence. And they believe it is going to be a winner takes most outcome. So what are your thoughts on AGI?
I think it's ultimately going to be, there's going to be many winners, but it's going to be playing out over years. And this really is a battle for market share across tech, in terms of AGI and ultimately where this could ultimately lead over the coming years. But that's the golden goose.
So there are many AI-focused ETFs on the market trading available to investors. What's going to set your ETF apart?
Yeah, Colin, you want to go?
Yeah, I think the biggest differentiator between us and all the other AI funds is really the way that this ETF is built. It's built on active insight through Dan's research and then a passive overarching structure with the index. So there's a lot of AI funds out there that are based on ambiguous, I think, inclusion criteria using keyword algorithms with AI in their earnings calls or filings or broad sector classifications with GICs or RBICs. And I think what it leads to is, bloated portfolios of 60 to 100 names with a lot of portfolio companies that have aspirational ties to AI. And so using Dan Ives' AI 30 research report, we're able to kind of get a real bead on exactly what's going on as this entire landscape changes. It's not going to be the same in a year or two. And I think the way that we're going to differentiate ourselves is through Dan's research and his ability to navigate that, to see ahead, and to structure the holdings in his report in a way that covers the entire ecosystem as it evolves.
Excellent stuff. Dan, would you like to add anything to that, to the AI theme investing or the ETF?
Look, I would just end with, investors around the world have followed us for decades. This is a way for us, to really our AI research that encompasses an ETF, that investors could actually play the theme. And that continues to me really be, what we focus on every day and every week in terms of this, what I view fourth industrial revolution.
Excellent stuff. Congratulations on the launch, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities and Cullen Rogers of Wedbush Fund Advisors. Let's recap the tickers that we discussed today. So the ETFs is the Ives ETF, IVES. We talked about some of the top holdings. Microsoft is MSFT, Nvidia is NVDA, Tesla, TSLA, Apple is AAPL. And if you want to look at other AI-focused ETFs, there are many in this space. And among the most popular ones are RTARTY. It is by iShares Future AI and Tech ETF. And then there's one by GlobalX. The ticker symbol is AIQ, Global X Artificial Intelligence and Technology ETF. Wisdom Tree also has one. It is the Wisdom Tree Artificial Intelligence and Innovation Fund. The ticker symbol is WTAI. And then there are many ETFs which focus both on AI and robotics. And the most popular ones in that area are BOTZ, BOTZ by GlobalX, and Robo, ROBO by RoboGlobal. Thanks for listening. If you like our show, please leave us a rating on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to subscribe so that you do not miss any episode. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please email podcast@zacks.com.
This material is being provided for informational purposes only, and nothing herein constitutes investment, legal, accounting, or tax advice, or a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold a security. Do not act or rely upon the information and advice given in this podcast without seeking the services of competent and professional legal, tax, or accounting counsel. Publication and distribution of this podcast is not intended to create, and the information contained herein does not constitute an attorney-client relationship. No recommendation or advice is being given as to whether any investment or strategy is suitable for a particular investor. It should not be assumed that any investments in securities, companies, sectors, or markets identified and described were or will be profitable. All information is current as of the date herein and is subject to change without notice. Any views or opinions expressed may not reflect those of Zacks Investment Research as a whole.